For this video, we're going to be going through the 8th installment of my command line series. And in this video, excuse me, we're going to be learning about file manipulation and how we could manipulate the text inside files, how we can create files, etc., right? So here on our left, as you can see, these are the commands we're going to use to paste on our right over here on the command line. Before we continue with this video, I want you to check out my previous other 7 videos. I talk about networking, process management, creation of files, deletion of files, etc. Go check those videos out before you do this one. So on this one, we're gonna start things off by learning about cat. So cat is a way to see the contents of a file. Normally, what we would do is we double click on on the file, and it'll open up with that text editor, and it'll show us the contents of the file. So instead of viewing it here through the text editor as we're doing with this, we can actually view it in the command line. So let's do this cat, and then let's do poem.txt. So as you can see, we're viewing the contents of the file in the command line here. And as you can see, it's a very long poem. So let's do this. Just clear it out. So now we're gonna combine files. So as you can see, cat here, file 1 and then file 2 with the greater than combined. So it's going to combine the contents of both these files into this new file. So I actually did this previously. So what I did is that I created a file called other file and new file, and I combined the contents of both of them. And both of them honestly have just three words. I believe it's hello world 3 times and bye world 3 times. So let's see, let's check it out real quick. Other file.txt. Yeah, like I said, right? So I did this cat other file.txt and then new file.txt greater than sign combined files.txt. Let's do that, and then let me actually remove this one. Combined file.txt. Let's clear it out, and then let's view the contents of combined files.txt. As you can see, it's 3 of them, right? And another little quick tip, if you want to create a file with contents in it on the fly, you do this. You do the greater than sign, and you can actually do this for bash files, as you can see here, if you want to create bash files on the fly. And I did a video on that as well. But let's just do hello.txt. Just a quick little text file, nothing fancy. And then we're gonna do hello again world. And then just do one more time. Hello again world. So to exit this, I would always recommend you press enter first and then control C, because if you do it here, it'll actually delete the contents on the left. So it'll exit like I just did on the bottom here. If you did it here, it'll delete this. So now it's going to show the contents of of both the words in the file. So let's clear it out again. So cat, again, we're going to view the contents of a file using the cat command. Hello.txt, bang. All right, so now we're going to move on to the second one where it says head and tail. So the head of a file, let's just say we have a text file that has 50 words in it, right? It's 50 lines long. So the head part of the file would be 1 through like 15, and 16 through like 30 would be the middle part, and then the tail part would be from 31 to 50. So sometimes head and tail is a good way to view like a small amounts of text words in the file. So let's do this. Head, and again, before we do this, let me show you something. WC lines, and then we're going to use poem.txt. And again, the poem has close to 3,500 lines of text word, right? So we're gonna do this head and then poem.txt and bang, it's showing us the first 10 lines of the text file, right? So again, as you can see it here, shows the first lines of a file. And again, it's actually 3500. So I'm gonna prove that to you right now. .txt. Again, it's very long, right? As you see, as I'm scrolling. Let me clear it out again. So now, if we want to view a specific number of files, again from the beginning, we can do 50. So let's do that right now. .txt. Let's view the first 50 lines of code or the line. So as you can see, right, we're viewing 50 lines of the text word. This is a line, this is a line. Spaces count as lines. So as you can see that here. All right, again, one more time. You use the N flag head and then the number flag. Let's do 100 this time. Poem.txt, bang. Whoops, spelled that wrong. There we go. Again, 100 this time. A little bit more out of 3500. So now let's try out the tail version of it. Tail, which would show I'm assuming the last 10 lines of the text file. So tail poem.txt. So it's showing us the 10. 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I guess 11. So I'm assuming this one also has a number flag on it. So let's see if that works. It might not work. It might work. Who knows? Oh, it actually did work. So now we're viewing the last 50 lines of the file. So let's clear it out. So let's move on. Let's go to cut now. So here, actually, we'll follow a live log here. This one you actually have to Google. And for some weird reason, I guess it does something to log files. And log files again are things that saves what your computer's doing, like whether it turns on, off, saves this, that, creates something. It's kind of like the history command. So you're gonna have to Google that yourselves and go deeper into that one. But let's go to number 3, cut. So cut out fields using a delimiter. Example, cut, and then the comma, F1 users.cv describes the first column from a CV file. So let's copy this here. I'm assuming we're getting to the file manipulation part where we get to manipulate text, not exactly delete it, but kind of like manipulate it, if that makes sense. So let's do this. And I don't have a user.cv file. Let's use poem.txt. Let's press enter. So I'm assuming it did something. It actually, what I think it did is that it took off the little the little thing here. So let's try this out. Hold on. Let's try H. So I'm assuming it's taking away the H's, which it really didn't. I already see an H there. Well, let's do this. Just make it small. Doesn't have to be big. H. Yeah. It it did what I thought it would do. It removes anything with the word H in it. The small H, portions of this would be THE, and then remove anything in front of it, right? So this is file manipulation. Again, this actually doesn't delete the H's on it. It just kind of filters stuff out. So let's read the actual file itself, but this time with tail. So we get to see the back end as we were doing. Poem, as you can see, right? There's this, the H right there. There's the over here. So we're using cut to manipulate and remove any word with H. And there's a lot of uses for that. So You know, if you're a book bounty hunter, maybe you want to remove certain words that you don't want to see, and you want to find specific words. You know what I mean? So let's like filtering stuff out. So that's what cut is. So as you can see, this command again filters out single characters. That only works with characters, by the way. So so there's that. So let's go to number four, awk. And awk, I believe is this one honestly might need its own video because this one does a lot of things. It has a lot of functionality. And let me see, hold on. Let me copy this bad boy. Some of these things like playing hard to get sometimes. So let's do this one. So awk, the tool, let's see, splits each line by using two periods and prints field one and three, which you know what? Let's start off with this one. Prints the first word of each line. So this one's pretty straightforward, all right? So again, we're gonna use it against our poem file, and it's gonna print out the first word of every line. So poem.txt. Again, it's almost 3,500 lines long, so we're gonna press enter. So it's printing out the first word of each line, as you can see here, right? So normally it would look like this. So as you can see, first word of each line. So that's what this command does, awk. And again, you're gonna have to go back and Google how to use some of these tools individually. And I could make a video on them as well, but I'm kind of giving you an idea of what they do. So again, awk, print, $1, curly braces, single quote, and then the file name. So let's do it again. Poem.txt. Here we go again. Prints out the first word of each line. And again, this is file manipulation. It's not exactly, or more like filtering out words to find other ones. You know, for example, in bug bounty hunting, a very popular thing people like doing is they like downloading JavaScript files within a website, and you like collecting as much as you can, and then you start using these tools to filter out specific words like password or username or secrets or tokens, and some of these files you could actually find these things. Some of these files do store passwords, et cetera, instead of having to read the whole file full of code. So there's that. Let's clear that out. So let's go with this one right here down here. Let me see. This one I don't know what it does, but again, you're gonna have to Google this one. So now let's go to SED, find and replace. Said edits text that it streams through. Replace hello with hi. Said hello with hi. All right, let's do this one. So it's gonna replace the text hello with hi if it finds it. All right, so let's do this one. And let's actually use it for this one. Cat and combined files. I believe this one does have hello. Yeah, does you see it there, right? So let's paste and let's use combined files. Combined files. As you can see, right? I'm assuming it's gonna replace the hello with the highs, right? So let's do this. Hello and then with hi. Enter. There you go. We replaced the hello world with hi world, right? As you can see through this command. So again, SED actually does change the contents of the file instead of filtering them out. So you remember, you got to be careful with some of these tools. So SED, hello, hi. So change our words hello to hi. And this is a very good command actually, just in case you want to change I don't know, maybe you want to change something encoding, right? Where you're like, oh, okay, you know what? This text word, I want to change this text word to this one right here, and I have 60 of them, 60 of the hellos in my code, and I want to manipulate and change it. So this is a very good way to do that. So as you can see there, right? So let's do it one more time. Let's check if it really did change everything. Oh no, what? Looks like it manipulated it. Well, that's interesting. You know what? Sometimes I think what has to happen is you have to do this. Save. We're gonna do new combined file and then txt, and then we're gonna save everything from here to here now. Enter and then ls. We want to make sure we see it. That's right there. New combined files appears. You can see it right here. Cat. So new combined and then file dot txt, and again we're saving the contents of the stuff we just manipulated. So again, the command for that is sed. As you can see, this is if you just want to see how it looks. This is if you want to save it into a new file. So that's a pretty cool command. So let's go down here. So show lines from 5 to 10. So I guess SED can also show you the lines of a specific from a specific point to another. So again, our poem file is the longest file we have. So let's use that as an example. So from 5 to 10, how about we do from 500 to 1000? So now we're viewing everything in the poem file from the 500 mark to the 1000. And you could easily, make it simple. You could also do something like this from, I don't know, let's do 10 to 15. Just something that simple. So you could also use it to view the contents of a file from one specific point to the other. So let's now go down to grep, which in my opinion is probably the most important one right here, as you can see on 6. So how you grep a file or view the contents of it, you do this grep, and then the the actual words of what you want to look for. So let's go back to our poem. So let's just say we want to find the word love, right? And then poem dot txt. So now it's showing us anything in the poem file that has the word love, right? So again, like I was mentioning before, and when you download JavaScript files or certain files that are very long, you can look for specific words and that could help you. So grep, let's do password and then poem.txt. So let's see if it has any. It doesn't have passwords, but some JavaScript files will have them, or some other interesting files, right? Or you could put something like a username. Nope. But grep is a very good way to find keywords. So remember that, keep that in mind. But let's do it for a file. So since it's a poem, what would be another word? Relationship. Let's see. Nope, didn't find that. Let's see if we find the word heart. Oh, there we go. We found it. You see, it'll show the line with the word in it. So hearts, and Mary, your heart goes all the way. I feel my heart, and you open zero heart. So again, that's a good way to filter out keywords and look for stuff. And let's see what this one is. Ignore case. So this one actually shows all the word regardless if it's small or capitalized. For example, here, heart, you can see the H is small. This is different. A capital H is a different word. So if you want to view all of them, you would use the I flag, which ignores the case. So now it'll show more. Let me see if we have one that has it. Oh, here's the capital, right? Here's another one, uppercase. So it shows more, right? So again, grep I heart poem.txt. That's a good way to view it. I'm not gonna show you guys this because who knows? I could expose something, but put that in your command line of see if maybe you find something in your folder with the word password in it. You know, who knows what that is. I'm definitely gonna do it here because I don't want to show what the heck is going on. So let's go down to sort and unique sort lines. So now let's do this. So I'm assuming this is just gonna show like the number of lines that a file has. So poem.txt sort, or you know what? I am wrong. It is actually sorting things out based off the alphabetical based off its alphabetical position, right? So all we all know A is the beginning and the numbers are first as well. Symbols are always first. So it's symbols, numbers, characters, and then A, right? So I guess this is a good way to find stuff. You know, if you have, especially if you have a dictionary, a file that's a dictionary that's scattered everywhere, I guess that would be a good way to do it again. Again, the command is sort, and then the name of the file. So poem.txt. Again, it sorts everything alphabetically. Unfortunately, we don't got a W and or Z. So finish it off. So now remove duplicate, sort file, and then unique. This is actually important as well, especially when you're scanning networks. Sometimes what will happen is that a subdomain tool will print out double the the results, and sometimes you want to just filter them out. You want to filter out the words into one unique one, right? So instead of having like five of the same IP addresses on a file, instead of scanning them five times, what you do is you use this command sort file, and then you remove all of the four and you make one unique IP address, right? So now you're just scanning unique IP addresses, especially when you use tools like Nmap, et cetera, et cetera. So let's go over here. So combined, and then files. See, oh shit, hold on. Combined files dot txt. So now what we're gonna do is now we're gonna see one of each. Because you can see, right, that's three of each. So sort, you go back to the command, file dot, oh wait, sorry, what's the combined file dot txt, and then we use a little bar command, and then we're going to use unique. So what this means is that we're passing down the contents of this file to the unique command as well. So we're going to do this. What do you mean? What the heck? Oh, sorry about that. See, there you go. So now again, we removed the copies of the same word, and now we're viewing one of each unique one. So this is a very important command to know as well. So let's clear that out. So now count duplicates. So now we're gonna see how many duplicates exist of each one of those files. So let's go back. This time we just had the C flag. So there's three goodbye world and there's three hello world, right? Very cool. Yada yada. That's why I love the command line. It's like it feels like you're working on magic, you know what I mean? So now let's go down to the translate characters. Change lowercase to uppercase. So this command will move all the small one, will change, excuse me, all these small letters into big ones. So let's do that real quick. And we're gonna do them to all, as you can see, A through Z, and then A through Z, And then we're gonna do the file, right? Combined file dot txt, enter. Oh, I see what I did wrong. Let me see. There we go. Boom. There we go. We made everything capital, right? So instead of having to, individually, copy it and do it again, blah, 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 maybe in caps, and then the same down here, blah, 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 we easily just did everything in one. We made everything capital just using this command, which is cool, right? So, et cetera, et cetera. Honestly, dang, man, I might have to make another video where I continue doing this off. The reason I'm gonna end this now is because of my laptop's dying. So I'm gonna make a second part regarding the file manipulation side, and I'm gonna call it file manipulation part 2, right? But on my 8th video. And again, guys, check out my other 7 videos of the command line, my command line series. And I think you'll like it. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up, subscribe. And again, I'm gonna do the second part where I left off. Again, I'm doing it because of my laptop. It's dying right now, and I believe this part anyway is gonna need it's gonna be at least close to 1 hour long, to be honest with you, just to explain all this stuff. So, all right, I'm in Mark 26 right now of the video, and that's because I was going pretty fast as well. So, all right, guys, well, take care, take it easy, God bless.